Hello student, welcome to my channel containing pharmacognosy subject videos. So in this video we will start with the clove flower bud. So in this video we will see the details like synonym, biological source, macroscopy, microscopy, chemical constituent as well as uses of this clove flower bud. So before start with this video, please like and share this video. Also subscribe my channel if you are new to my channel, and also don't forget to add a comment. So let us start with the clove flower bud. So we know regarding this clove flower bud, it is commonly used in our spices. It is having a fragrant odor. This is because of a presence of volatile oil content in this flower bud. So specifically the flower bud part is used for this clove, not the fully open flower is used, because the clove flower bud contain more amount of volatile oil as compared to the fully open flower. So clove flower buds are used instead of fully open flower. Now we will see the details of this clove flower. So regarding the synonym, so it is commonly known as a clove flower, clove bud, or in Marathi it is named as a lavang, or it is also called as a caryophyllum. So these are the different synonyms for this clove. Then regarding the biological source, so as we know, the flower bud part of this clove is used. Hence, the biological sources, it consists of dried flower buds of Eugenia caryophyllus. That is, the genus is Eugenia and the species is Caryophyllus, which is the official variety, and that belongs to the family Myrtaceae. So this clove, it consisting of a dried flower buds that is obtained from Eugenia caryophyllus that belongs to the family Myrtaceae, where we have to know that it should contain not less than 15% of a clove oil. So whatever the volatile oil content of this clove, that must be not less than 15%. Okay, so this is regarding the synonym and the biological source. Now regarding the macroscopy. So the clove flowers that are generally 10 to 75 mm long, and that consisting of a head portion which contains 4 slightly projected calyx teeth. So these are the 4 calyx teeth which are present, and the 4 membranous petals as well as the numerous incurved stamens. So it consisting of a numerous incurved stamens which is present around a large style. So this is the general characteristics of the clove flower bud. Then regarding the morphological characters, that is, it consisting of this dome shaped structure that is known as the corolla. Then it contains petals which are 4 in number, and that is membranous. So corolla and the petal, in all that portion is known as the crown. Then it contains 4 sepals which are generally thick divergent, and whatever the elongated portion is generally called as a hypanthium, which is about 10 to 13 mm in length. So in this macroscopy they have also given the details like it contains the dome shaped portion, that is corolla. It contains stamen which is incurved. Inside that a style is present which is generally erect and about 3 mm in long. Then below that dome shaped portion in the hypanthium, it contains an ovary. So ovary is generally 2-celled, and that is inferior ovary, which contains numerous ovules that attach to the axial placenta. And below that it consisting of the region that is known as the columella. Well, whatever the structures or rounded structures which are present at the periphery of this hypanthium, these are generally nothing but the oil gland cells. So it contains numerous amount of these oil gland cells, where this is generally the shape and the particular structures which are present morphologically in the cloveflower bird. Now, regarding the color, so it is generally having the crimson to dark brown or sometimes reddish brown color, where the odor, it is having slightly aromatic and strong spicy odor. Then taste, it is having the pungent as well as the aromatic taste, which is followed by numbness. Numbness here, it means it is going to block the sensation of the teeth. So after that we are just unable to determine or detect any kind of a taste. So that is nothing but the numbness. Then we have seen regarding the size, that is about 10 to 7.5 mm in length and about 4 mm in width and 2 mm in thickness. And the shape, that is hypanthium, whatever the elongated portion is there. So it is generally surrounded with the 4 thick acute divergent sepals, and that is surrounded by a dome shaped portion that is known as the corolla. So this is general regarding the morphological characteristics of the cloveflower bird. Now regarding the tears. So after taking the transverse sections of the cloveflower bird, we see the transverse section like this, where we have taken the transverse section which passes through the hypanthium. So this transverse section, it indicates the hypanthium portion. Okay, so in that the parts like epidermis, oil cells, cortex, vascular bundles, parenchyma as well as columella. So all this part can be observed in the microscopy of this clove bird. Now we will see in detail all these parts. So the outermost layer, it is nothing but the epidermis. So here we can observe a single layer straight walled cell with stomata, that is it consisting of a single layer of a straight wall cells which are present in the epidermis, and that is further covered with the smooth membranous structure that is known as the cuticle. But this cuticle, it is somewhat thick structure. Okay, so this is regarding the epidermis. Then below that, it consisting of a cortex. So this cortex region, this is consisting of a 3 zone. So this zone is known as the upper zone. Below upper zone, this is known as the middle zone, which contains the vascular bundles, and below that this layer is known as the lower zone or the inner zone, which is present below the middle zone, and that is known as the parenchyma. So we will see in detail one by one each zone. So regarding the upper zone, this consisting of radially arranged parenchymatous cells. So these are the parenchymatous cells which are radially arranged with 2 to 3 layers of big ellipsoidal schizolysogenous oil glands. So these are the big ellipsoidal schizolysogenous oil glands which are present in 2 to 3 layers, where these oil glands, they contains the volatile oil, and these are generally present at the periphery of this epidermis, where these parenchymatous cells, they contains tannins. So in between these parenchymatous cells, they contain the tannins, and therefore because of this presence of tannins, they shows dark color when stained with the ferric chloride. Okay, so this is regarding the upper zone. Then regarding the middle zone, so in this region, it contains a ring of bicollateral vascular bundles. So these are the vascular bundles which are generally bicollateral, where they consisting of xylem vessels which are composed of 3 to 5 lignified spiral vessels. So whatever the xylem vessels these are present, these are nothing but the lignified spiral vessels, and it contains about 15 vascular bundles which are present throughout this ring of the middle zone, where the isolated pericyclic fibers, so some pericyclic fibers which are again lignified structures, that is present around this vascular bundle. These are present around these vascular bundles. So the vascular bundles along with pericyclic fiber, these are known as the fibrovascular bundle because the fibers are attached to these vascular bundles. Therefore, these are known as the fibrovascular bundles, where the fibers are prominent and show distinguished pink color on staining. So these are going to show the pink color on staining with fluoroglycinol and HCl because these are lignified structure. So this is regarding the middle zone, which almost contains the vascular bundle. Then regarding the lower zone, or also it is called as the inner zone, where it is consisting of the parenchyma, which composed of air spaces. So you can see here the spacious arrangement is present in between these parenchymatous cells. So that contains the air spaces. So we can say that the combination of parenchyma and the air, so that layer is known as the arenchyma. That is known as the arenchyma. And this layer, it is separated by lamella, one cell thick, which support the central columella. So this arenchyma is generally present to support this columella region, which is present at the middle. Okay, so this is regarding the cortex region, which contain upper zone, middle zone and the inner zone, where the upper zone contains oil glands, middle zone contains vascular bundle as well as fibrovascular bundle, and the inner zone that contains, or that is known as the arenchyma. Now regarding this columella, so columella region, it consisting of parenchymatous cells and that are generally rich in the calcium oxalate crystals, where if you can observe, then it is consisting of a ring of a vascular bundle which is present at the periphery of this columella, where these are small vascular bundle ring is present, where it contains about 25 to 30 vascular bundles. These are present in that ring. So if we take a TS of a hypanthium which passes through the ovary, so in this TS, instead of columella, we will get ovary section at this columella region, where this ovary, it contains about 2 bean-shaped lobes with ovules that can be observed at the center of this TS. Okay, so this is regarding the microscopy of the clove-flower bud, which passes through the columella as well as the ovary region. In this, you have to remember that during this microscopical study, we do not observe any starch grains or the stone cells. So this clove-flower bud TS, it is generally free of starch grain as well as the stone cells. Okay. While performing the microscopy, the staining reagents which are used for the clove-flower bud, it includes fluoroglycinol and concentrated HCl that gives pink color to the vascular bundles and the fibers which are present in the middle zone. Then Sudan Red 3, it is used for staining of the cuticle as well as the oil globules. Then strong KOH solution that is used for the eugenol, which is present in the volatile oil, that forms needle-shaped potassium eugenate crystals. Then dilute hydrochloric acid and the sulfuric acid, these are used for observing calcium oxalate crystals which are specifically present in this columella region. Okay, so this is regarding the staining reagents that is used for the observing the TS. Then next is regarding the chemical constituents. This clove-flower bud, it contains about 15 to 20% of the volatile, which is the main constituent. Then it also contains about 13% of tannin and resins also. Then in case of volatile oil, The active constituent is nothing but the eugenol, that is present in the concentration of about 70 to 90%. Along with it, it also contains eugenol acetate and the caryophyllene, where isoeugenol is also present. Then it least amount it also contains methyl salicylate, alpha humulene, valine, glucose, fructose, rhamnose, sucrose, carbone, and furfural compounds, where the furfural compounds it includes methyl and dimethyl furfural compounds. So this is regarding the chemical constituent which are present in the clove flower bud. Now regarding the uses. So as it contains volatile oil, so obviously the main use is nothing but it is used as an aromatic stimulant and carminative. So it is also used as a flavoring agent as it contains volatile oil. So obviously it is used as a flavoring agent, and it also possesses antiseptic property. And second use is it is used as a dental analgesic. So different dental pains can be treated by means of the clove oil, which possesses this analgesic property. Then exhausted clove, it is used in the preparation of cigarettes. So exhausted, we already know that exhausted means whatever the active constituent, that is the volatile oil present in the clove, that is already removed. So whatever the bulk of the clove which remain that do not contain volatile oil, and that can be used in the preparation of the cigarettes. Then clove oil is used as an ingredient of toothpaste, mouthwashes for relieving the toothache. So for treatment of different tooth pains or the gum pains, this can be used in the form of a toothpaste as well as the mouthwashes. Then it is also used as an antispasmodic, that it used to cure the spasms. Then flatulent, to remove the gases. Then counter irritant, it is also related to the relieving the pains. And rubeficient means it is also used as an relieving from the pains, where the preparation is generally rubbed on the skin surfaces. Then externally it is applied in rheumatic pain also. And the oil which is used generally for the perfumery and also in the manufacture of the vanillin. So in the chemical constituent we have seen it contains one of the constituent, that is nothing but the vanillin. So obviously it is used for the manufacture of this vanillin. So this is all regarding the uses of this clove oil. So in this video we have seen the details of the clove flower bud, like synonym, biological source, morphology, microscopy, chemical constituent, as well as uses of the clove flower bud. So I hope you like this video. Also share this video. Don't forget to add comment, and please subscribe my channel if you are new to my channel. Thank you.